3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so your movement in this game is like lane-based. So this is like the only trick, and I missed it. So if you walk off a ledge, once you reach the next lane in midair, you can do like you have a few frames to jump. So it would have just saved me like a second there from having to call my other characters over to build a tower. So yeah, you're just moving throughout the studio, beating all the stages before you can unlock the final boss rush. There's a lot of movie references throughout. That's unfortunate.
Oh, no.
So yeah, this is like the alien sci-fi section. Facehugger grabbed me.
It is kind of a pretty big setback when you lose a character because you lose a lot of other options available to you.
Yeah, there's one spot where you actually need at least 2 of them alive to just to reach a ledge. Otherwise, you have to take like the long way around. So.
Mm-hmm. And they decided that the best mechanic to allow you to get those characters back is a roulette, because why not? So if he gets lucky, he might wind up with 3 characters again.
And outside of that, the only really useful thing for the roulette is there's a chance you can get 3 nurses. And it'll give you invincibility for a little bit. It's really only useful in a couple spots, otherwise it's just gonna cause lag in the game. So yeah, I'm just waiting here, avoiding the Ralph the security guard until this spaceship decides to come pick me up.
As one does.
All right, I'll read a couple donations. We have 30 from Heavy Metal. It says, SGDQ is my favorite event of the summer. So excited for this year's runs. Good luck to the runners.
You can go ahead and keep reading.
And I'd also like to point out that I feel like this is the perfect game for donation messages that are rhymey and wacky. So if you, so for all the wordsmiths watching, let's see what you got. We also have $25 from Anita. It says, keep up the great work. First time viewing games. So awesome. Good luck from Newfoundland, Canada. And also $100 from Anonymous. No comment.
Yeah, this is one of the more unfortunate auto-scrollers because you are kind of trapped. Several of them you have a means of actually running through much faster, but just not a whole lot to say on this one.
Yeah. You can do that.
Gotta find pleasure anywhere you can.
So yeah, coming up is the chase sequence. Again, pretty straightforward. When you're dashing and you hit certain objects or enemies, then you'll get like a skid animation. So you want to kind of jump over these guys as you're dashing through. You can also hit left to get that animation as well, or whichever, the opposite direction you're running.
For the most part, this game does control fairly well, but it's punishing in that you are always in the center of the screen, and if you need to react to something that's off screen, you have very little opportunity to do so.
Yeah, this is one of the sections where getting like one of the nurses on the roulette would actually help, because you would be able to skip some of the cycles.
Yeah, you use his position in the different lanes there to make sure that the robot fire dog thing.
I think it's supposed to be like a Terminator or something.
That it spent all the time necessary to move over to him horizontally, and then also a fair amount of time to go vertically.
Yeah, and I also had good luck there with the nurse. Otherwise, I would have had to lure him to the left to finish off that last switch, but I had invincibility, so that was good. Usually doesn't happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Epic.
Yes.
got a question.
Uh-oh.
What are your thoughts on the Acme company and organization?
Best company ever. Except they're trying to kill me right now, so.
Maybe not so much. Even though Epic is making this look easy, this is a really challenging game to get through in pretty much every stage. You really have to spend a lot of time to know kind of just how to move and set up. And so far we've seen a lot of auto-scrollers, which is unfortunate, and there are more. But survival is not trivial, especially as you just get hit when you don't know things are coming. You lose a party member, and then, well, you're stuck until you get them back somehow.
And like the stage clear doesn't load all the way. It doesn't load all the sprites for the word, for whatever reason. There.
Oops.
Onto the aquatic studio. Mash. I get to mash a little bit. So yeah, on these barrels, you have to like hold the opposite direction to move the direction you actually want to move. Which makes sense, but it can be a little weird at first.
And like he was saying, this is lane-based, so even though there is some kind of sense of three-dimensional movement here, you are stuck basically moving in between individual lanes for each of these different ones. And if you can't quite tell where that next platform is, you are just going straight into the drink.
Yeah, I did a couple like jump skips there, basically using that lane movement. So if you're jumping and you're switching lanes, you can only move like one at a time. So doing those jumps just allows you to skip taking a couple of these rats. Stage full of mini bosses. They're not hard, but can get a little annoying. So what I'm going to do coming up is I'm going to try to get my back character there stuck on this ledge. Didn't quite work out. So basically I want to get her sprite off screen just to kind of help reduce lag.
Yeah. One of the benefits of losing characters is that you do cut down on lag in some of these heavier sections. So he's getting a small benefit from not having a full party at this moment.
So yeah, I'm going to get her stuck there. Go off to the right. And she should be there until basically the end of the stage, the final boss.
Yeah. Lag management is one of the more important aspects of speedrunning that doesn't get quite any of the glory.
Especially in this game where there's a lot of auto-scrollers.
Yeah, it does end up making a fairly big difference, especially when all other things are equal. Wow, she stays gone for a long time.
Yeah, she'll be stuck back there until the last boss.
So if these are different movie sets, we saw Jaws earlier. I guess this is some variety of Peter Pan or otherwise?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a couple that I'm not quite familiar with. I just learned that the last auto-scroller section of the first stage is like Odyssey 2001, I guess.
Oh boy. I was going to say, those look like some monoliths. Kraken.
Yeah, so each one takes basically an extra hit.
So this is the 4?
Yeah, this is 4. And then the final boss would be basically the same thing, except he has a chance to do an extra attack, which will only create lag, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if he shoots at like smaller octopuses, then that'll be real bad, but
Oh boy.
we'll see what we get. All right, we got good luck.
Wow, that pirate captain taking cannons to the gut.
So yeah, that's the end of that stage.
So we mentioned the roulette before. How do you actually trigger the roulette to go?
Grabbing those coins
Mm-hmm.
actually causes it. Generally, well, since I'm down a character, I actually want to avoid coins as much as possible, just because I don't want that third character back, just because it helps with the lag. So, unfortunately, it's not always easy avoiding those.
The only things that are around to collect. Here's a very serious implementation of just how strict those lanes can be. So if you don't know that those trees are coming up or what plane they're actually in, you're going to spend a lot of time here chasing that rabbit.
That was my least favorite part as a kid.
For sure.
Get some never-ending story action.
Good old Doggo Dragon.
I have time for a quick donation here.
Yep.
We have $5 from Grumpy Tiger, and I will try my best. That says, "Hello, nurse." Thank you.
And if I hit L, I can actually like stop it, so that might be what I want to do. Just to hopefully not get anything.
That danged luck. Oh.
Yeah, that section can be scary.
Yeah, it seems like it. I don't know if I trust any time that you're jumping on that dragon. So here's another chase auto-scroller. Again, where you can't see anything that's coming up ahead of time.
Nice, I got him back. Thanks. Thanks, game.
It knew that you were looking for it.
So yeah, in this section, you just want to stay in the center. Don't fall for the trap of the gold coins. And there's like a little animation you get if you're gonna walk off an edge that gives you a little bit of buffer time to jump out of it, so it's nice.
Yeah, makes it so that it's at least a little more safe to consider doing that dash.
So yeah, this is the part where you need at least 2 characters, otherwise you can't jump up there.
That's pretty mean.
If I jump under that anvil, it pushes me out to the right, otherwise it'll push me to the left, so it saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's the very minor game knowledge like that that really helps have the difference between just a good run and a really good run. Being able to take the very small differences in where you get pushed by different things, where the lag is, everything like that.
So yeah, that's the King of Spades, I guess. It's a pretty straightforward boss, just gotta have him get crushed 3 times. Lure is kind of manipulate the movement so he gets stuck under there, so. Yeah, that's the end of that stage.
All right, the R and the exclamation point made it this time around.
Yeah, for whatever reason, that first stage, I don't know why. Maybe a sprite limit or something.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. Jurassic Park, maybe.
Something like that. The animatronics is a neat touch, I think. At least as far as the art choices here.
So yeah, you kind of want to be careful when throwing these coconuts at this guy, because if you miss one, then you have to sit through his second phase in extra time, which just, like, this is the first phase. He'll just slam here and I'll get more coconuts, but the second phase he'll like try to smash me like with like a clap attack. So you don't want to have to sit through that again, because that's much longer.
I think it is a little hard to follow which character you are at any given time, because they all bunch up,
Yeah.
and you just got to remember. You're wacko right now.
That's another thing. Like that's the boss of the stage, but that's not the end of it. It happens in a couple of them.
Who needs platforms? You can just skip on water.
So yeah, this coming section is another spot where getting 3 nurses would help, but there's no real way to like route in coins, at least not yet, that I've really looked into. Otherwise, you have to wait basically an extra cycle on each of these ropes.
It's just waiting for you at the end. But wait, there's more.
Get a nice little Indiana Jones theme. Unfortunately, there's no way to get like through this entire section because this whole like pit area is an entire crusher, so you can't really make it past.
Hmm.
So you just kind of have to wait it out. Door number 3.
I'm enjoying the sound design for that area. Just, it's a remix of the main Animaniacs theme, just done in more bombastic style. Because why not? Suddenly Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula. I'm not really sure what exactly this would be from, but
Sure, I believe it. Dracula.
it's just Dracula. It's a Konami game. They had to throw Drac in here. So yeah, if you have all 3 characters in this section, the very last jump can be really tricky just because it lags the game a ton. So hopefully I don't take a hit.
We got a small donation here, Epic, if you got time.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have $5 from Grizzly Zen who says, "Hi, Epic. It's Grizzly Zen. Here's $5 and remember to kick it to the limit."
Thank you. All right, so yeah, that last jump there, it can be a little hard with all 3 characters alive just because it does lag the game a ton. Nice little familiar shot here.
I haven't seen that before. I think they did well with just designing the game to match up to the wackiness and trolliness of the show.
Yeah. Of course, you got to get chased by the moon.
Of course.
So yeah, that was the final stage into a little boss rush here.
Gets wrapped up. Just straight away into it.
Played a little safe here. Just because I was in the wrong lane at the start. So yeah, this is what you have to do normally. You kind of have to lure him away just so he doesn't run into you.
Cruel.
If you have any donations, you can go ahead and read. These fights are all pretty much the same.
I might have a few. We have a $200 amount from Anonymous that says, "Donating for the cause. Doctors Without Borders is a legit good charity." We also have a $20 donation from Relish that says, "The first time I saw a GDQ was AGDQ 2013, and I have seen it every year since then and love it. every year thanks to everyone involved.
That's unfortunate. I missed a coconut there. Someone had to sit through an extra
Oh,
cycle.
no. That's the other thing every speedrunner loves, cycle-based bosses. Is the pattern of the fist the same every time, or do you manipulate it somewhat?
Yeah, it's based on where you're at.
Okay.
See, I don't know why that one missed. I was in the correct lane. But that's fine. I had to sit through an extra cycle anyways.
Mm-hmm. There we go. All right, just a few more.
I believe the pirate is next.
How important is the positioning of the cannon here?
It's pretty important. If you don't push it to the left, then you'll notice like every time he slams, it kind of gets pushed to the right a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's too far to the right, then you just can't hit him. So you just have to set it up at the start. Yeah, this is the final boss. I don't know about anyone else, but to me, this fight looks very familiar. If you've ever played Super Mario World, this is very reminiscent, at least to me, to the final Bowser fight. He has 3 different attacks he can do. That was obviously one of them. He can drop fireballs, or he can drop like 2 enemies, which is the quickest one. Or he can do all 3, which is really unfortunate, just because that's just going to waste a ton of time.
Is this the only part of the game that has the screen wrap?
Yeah, I think so.
Nothing like new
lucky
mechanics.
for me.
Yeah.
Makes this boss fight pretty easy. So yeah, you have to go through 4 cycles of this. That was the second one. So time will be coming up shortly. Just kind of float him in the center of the screen.
Yeah, I've not seen those attacks ever before. Nope.
So yeah, this is where he's doing all 3. That's unfortunate.
There's a lot of importance on manipulating enemies throughout a lot of games, but this is probably one of the most straightforward manipulations that you can have. Just if you can completely reverse the side that you're on at a moment's notice, yeah. Good luck having
so yeah,
any
there's gonna
AI.
be time here. Time. So yeah, one thing I didn't mention is there's like these scripts that you can collect, and that's what you do for 100%. Yeah. Otherwise, you get the bad ending, which you'll see why. Basically, the CEO of Warner Brothers gets really mad at you, and then you get to see the saddest phases that I've ever seen. Like, look at this.
Oh.
It's so powerful that it makes him sad at the last shot. So yeah, that's Animaniacs.